Good evening, good morning, good night. How are you all doing? Welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing good. Really good to see you today, guys. Really appreciate everyone who is on board today. Of course, guys, welcome to the stream. Before I start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video, all that sweet stuff. On the only place to be for Manchester United news is Stretford Post. Absolutely. The first and the last of all the news is, of course, guys, absolutely. Now, guys, let's get straight into a little bit of news. Now, look, I'm gonna speak about Anderson first. I want to speak about Anderson first because obviously there's a lot of news circulating that the Anderson deal is on in January. Now, look, let me just quiet myself down 1 second. Yeah, the Anderson deal is on. Apparently, it's on in January. The deal is on. Now, let me just clear something up with everyone. The deal has never been off. Man United have always been in for Anderson in January. The Anderson deal was always going to be on. It was always on. Man United have always had a chance to sign Anderson in January. However, the price tag of Anderson will be a lot more substantial in January as opposed to in the summer. Obviously, Nottingham Forest have their own agendas. Nottingham Forest have their own challenges in the league. They're in the relegation zone. And also they're in Europe as well. People forget that Nottingham Forest are in Europe as well. So Anderson deal has always been on in January. It is still on in January. And it will always be on in January until it's over, guys, because until January is over, should I say. So the deal for Anderson, obviously, people can say it's recycled. Of course, it could be recycled news and stuff like that, but it's something that I've been speaking about for a while. The Anderson deal in January is on, but it is unlikely. And that is what I would say about that. Just to counter anyone who's saying this, that, and the other, I've always said that the deal is on in January. The Anderson deal is on, but it is unlikely Man United will spend the amount of money that Nottingham Forest are requesting at the moment. I cannot see for the life of me how Nottingham Forest would want to get rid of Anderson at a period in their season where it is crucial. They are fighting relegation. They're also playing in Europe. So obviously they're not going to want to let their prize asset leave. They'd be basically the nail in the coffin in regards to their Premier League campaign if they did manage to get rid of Anderson. Look, signing Anderson in January will be an absolute game changer for Manchester United. It'd be an absolute, elevator for Manchester United. It really would. It'd be an absolute amazing signing for Man United if we manage to do it in January. Do I see it happening? As I said, you never know. But I just feel it's unlikely that Man United would do a deal for Anderson, considering the amount of money he's worth. And also, Nottingham Forest will be playing hardball. Let's not forget, Nottingham Forest will be playing hardball. They will be playing difficult to get, of course, guys. This is what they do. Absolutely, And what I would say is this. Yes, Man United can sign Anderson in January. Yes, it does depend on Ineos and how much they got to spend. That is a very big thing as well. Who is going to lead the football club? Is Kobe Mainoo going to stay at the football club? Is Xerxes going to stay at the football club? These questions all need to be asked because these are crucial factors when you're talking about Anderson going to Manchester United. But the Anderson deal to Manchester United in January is on. It always has been on, as I said, but most likely will be in the summer, guys. And that is what I would say. Now, guys, people who know me, they know I've mentioned players quite often. I do mention a lot of players over the last few months, years, some may say. And I've mentioned players way before it becomes a popular thing to do so, i.e. Mr. Boadi, of course, guys, as you can see here in his thumbnail. This was 2 months ago. I was talking about him before that, but I was speaking about Boadi 2 months ago. Now, a lot of rumours are circulating about Boadi coming to Manchester United. Now, all of a sudden, everyone's an expert on Boadi. Everyone knows about Boadi when we've been speaking about him on Stretford Post for a very long time, as I've just proven, guys. So, what it is in regards to Boadi is a player that is going to be wanted by a number of teams around Europe, not only Manchester United. He's an incredibly talented player, French under-21, generational, another one of the great players on a long line of players that are coming through the Lille conveyor belt, of course, guys. A very good player, and in the future could be worth around 100 million if we place his cards right, of course. And Man United are fully aware of Boadi. Boadi is around 30 million euros. He's valued at around 30 million euros. He's only 18, of course, so very young and is such a project player. He is a project player. However, it is quite obvious that the kid is very talented. And if we manage to get Boadi, it would be an absolute brilliant signing. It would be a brilliant signing. Would he make an immediate impact? Probably not. We're going to have to be patient with that. Manchester United, in particular in the midfield, are looking for players to come in and make a difference, are coming to make an impact straight away. If I was a better man, gun to head, would I believe Bawardi would come to Manchester United? I think Bawardi could eventually come to Manchester United, but I just don't think it will be a priority for Manchester United at the moment, even though he is a very, very talented player. Man United are looking for players to come into the side right now, not playing in France, but playing in the Premier League, and can make an immediate change and can contribute towards Manchester United qualifying for the Champions League and whatnot. Of course, guys, we have to be objective and we have to be realistic here. That's not to say that Man United won't sign Oyo Boyardi. He is a very, very sought-after player. Lots of teams are looking at him at the moment, but he is only 18, and we have to stress that he's not the finished product by all means. 30 million only would be a snip at that price as well. In my opinion, if Man United did a deal like this, it would be great if Man United could do a deal with Bawardi, bring in a Bawardi and bring in an experienced player like Anderson. And this could happen, of course. Man United could bring in an experienced player like Anderson and bring in an inexperienced, so to speak, player like Bawardi, which I feel like will be a very, very shrewd move. However, the cynical side of me, the guy, I think thinking about it deeply as I have been, I think Man United will go after the likes of Stiller, like the Anderson, the Wharton sort of thing. That's what Man United are going to be looking at initially. And as we know, Man United haven't got as much money as we would like to have money, of course, guys. So we're not going to sign absolutely everyone. Now, Man United being linked to all these players, and let me tell you something about players being on. Every player that Man United are being linked to is on. Man United are after many players. This is called a contingency plan. These players that Man United are after, these are contingency plans. We've got players that we want, the ones at the front of the crew, the queue, which is the top 5. And then you've got the players just below that, like the Javigueras, the Yorigis, the Lamine Kamaras, the Agumes, the Boyardis, these type of players, the Kones. These type of players are the ones waiting in the wings. These are the contingency plans. Man United have had contingency plans. Man United have been linked to loads of midfielders. We know that. I know it's frustrating. I know it's annoying, but Man United will be linked to a lot of players. We're not going to sign all those players, but at least if Man United go after Anderson, they can't get Anderson. They go after Wharton. They can't get Wharton. They go after Baleba. They can't get Baleba. They go after Lamine Kamara. They can't get Lamine Kamara. They go after Bawardi. And this is what they're doing. So Man United are preparing for the future. Now, look, Man United can sign Bawardi, even if we signed Anderson, even if we signed Stiller. I just don't have the faith in Ineos to do that as much as we should. I just don't have the faith for Ineos to do that. I could see Bawardi going to a likes of PSG. I could see Bawardi going to even an Arsenal, even a team of that ilk. I can see him, even though we should be going after this player and we should be trying to sign this player. Absolutely, guys, absolutely. Now, guys, you may remember, you may recall, I mentioned a player over this last week, at the beginning of last week, of course. First again from Stretford Post. Salvador Blopa. Salvador Blopa is an 18-year-old right midfielder, left midfielder, right back, left back, who currently plays for Sporting Lisbon. Ruben Amorim is a big fan of this player. Of course, he plays for Sporting Lisbon. Ruben Amorim is very connected with Sporting Lisbon. And this player, who's very versatile, can play on both sides, both flanks, which would be very helpful for Manchester United, is also being captured the eye of Manchester United, captured the eye of Ineos, captured the eye of Walcott's Morada and stuff. Only 18 years old again. Another young player coming through the conveyor belt of young players at Sporting Lisbon, of course. It's Portuguese under-19 player. I mentioned him a few times. I mentioned him this morning as well. This player, Man United are looking at intensively. But it is another young player. It is another player that is a project player. I do believe Man United need to look at a little bit more experienced players that can come in and make a difference straight away, and have these players waiting in the wings, so to speak. Sign these players as well, but have these players waiting in the wings, you know what I mean? And then they can improve and be nurtured into the first team. Because it's, at the end of the day, as I said, this is Premier League football. Premier League football is not Portuguese football. Premier League football is not French football. Premier League football is a completely different kettle of fish. And if people don't mention that, they really don't understand the game, because at the end of the day, you can't just throw in players in the deep end in the Premier League at 18 years old and say, there you go. Look, even Giovanni Quenda, he wouldn't get straight into the Chelsea team. You know, you have to nurture these players in slowly, and hopefully they become good, of course, guys. Absolutely. But that is something that Ruben Amorim has given the green light to, of course. So being linked to the same players, guys, let me just double clarify as well. Let me just double let me just double down on this a little bit. Man United do have many players on their transfer wish list, okay? And they've had these players on their transfer wish list for many, many months, right? As I've mentioned in many shows in the past, I've mentioned these players more than one occasion. These players that I'm mentioning today, I've mentioned them on more than one occasion many, many months ago. Some of them in the summer, I was talking about these players, guys, absolutely, you know. So this is why Stretford Post is the place to be. I'm always constantly on the go. I'm always constantly finding out about different types of players, etc. Who can come to Manchester United, who's linked to Man United, who the Man United want, of course, guys, from my sources at the club, of course. But one thing I would say is this, guys. I don't want anyone to say, oh, but why we're linked to him? We're linked to him. Why are we linked to him? Why we're linked to him as well? So many rumors, so many rumors. That is going to be the case. Now, the biggest thing for me, the biggest thing is obviously them walking the walk rather than talking the talk, getting the deals done. That's the most important thing. We can be linked to players. We could be after players. We could be talking to players. We could have agreed personal terms with players. We could agree personal terms with the agents, etc. But obviously, that doesn't mean nothing if the board don't go for the kill in regards to the club they're buying him for, the price. You know, so it is down to Ineos, it is down to Jim Ratcliffe, and it is down to the Glazers. So whilst they are still in charge, we cannot just say that we're going to sign this player, we're going to sign. It'd be very, very arrogant of us to say that, because at the end of the day, we're not run by those type of people. We're run by people who are very business-minded only. Of course, guys. And when you're thinking about the summer and you're thinking about the midfield that needed fixing, the wing backs needed fixing, we got a goalkeeper in the last minute, which ended up costing us points. You know, we have to look at it. Why are they going to do it now? And that is the feeling on my head, because we are still in the same financial year. We're still in the same fiscal year. Why are they going to do it now? And that's the question I would pose, you know. So I'm not going to get overly giddy, as I said. I'm not going to get overly excited. But I will bring you the news, and I will bring you the players that we are being linked to. Because what this does, when you're talking about these players, it gives you an idea of the type of players that Manchester United are looking at. You know, what type of player we're signing, what position we're signing, etc., etc. This is very, very important. I think people need to understand that we're going to be linked to loads of players. Yes, that is the truth. But we're not going to sign all of those players. Of course we are. But we are going to be linked to a lot of players. Just because Man United don't sign A, B, or C doesn't mean that they're not after D, E, or F. Man United will get one of A, B, C, D, E, or F. Man United will get one of those players or two of those players. So that is what we have to look at the end of the day. But what is encouraging for me, the encouraging part is that Man United are looking at a number of players, guys, a number of players. And, you know, that is a good thing. We're not only looking at one. We're not only focusing tunnel vision on one. We're looking at loads, which is a great, great thing, of course. Let me just go through some of your comments, guys. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Big up. Belaber was on. Big up, Den. What's going on? Belaber was on, and that answers any truth for these reports. Two players could be on at the same time, my friend. Man United could have Belaber on. They could have Anderson on. They could have both of them on, right? But that doesn't mean that Man United are going to sign both of them. That means that they have two that they're on. They're on. That's on. That's on. Are they going to get one or the other? Are they going to get both of them? And that is what it is, basically. They can get him. They can get him. It depends, absolutely. Big up, All Bars One. Hope you're doing well. Peace and blessings, RJ. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Portugal destroying Armenia. Who are Armenia? Don't know. But you can see how much Portugal miss Bruno. Sal, I mean, yeah, of course they do. Sal, did you see Casemiro and Cunha yesterday? They were both amazing. Yeah, they were fantastic. Very important. Ancelotti was talking about Casemiro yesterday, talking about his leadership, talking about the type of player that he is, that he needs him in his team. Of course, Ancelotti knows a lot about Casemiro anyway. He managed him, didn't he, at the end of the day? Ephraim, good evening, Sal. It would be a dream if we signed Anderson and Stiller. That for me is the kind of midfield that I'm looking at. I'm looking at Ephraim. I'm looking at that midfield, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's the kind of midfield that I want. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of player that I want. That sort of balance is perfect. Absolutely, Ephraim. It's a perfect balance. It's a bit like you can have Anderson and you can have Belaber. They're two very different players. They're like kind of number sixes, but kind of number eights. And you have to look at things in a modern day way, in a modern day of football. You can have Belaber, you can have Anderson. Adam Wharton and Anderson would be too similar. But the Anderson and Belaber, or the Anderson and Stiller, you know, would be the kind, or the Anderson and João Gomez, this kind of thing, you know, would be the kind of midfield that Man United will be looking for, the kind of balance that Man United be looking for as well, of course. Ephraim, Sal, who will be your choice between Anderson, Belaber, Wharton, and Stiller? It'd be one of Anderson, of Wharton, and Stiller for me. That would be my choice. That would be one of them. Yeah, I mean, if I had my choice right now, who would I get? I'll get Adam Wharton. I'll get Stiller. That would be my choice at the moment. But it's very close between Adam Wharton and Anderson. And guys, absolutely. Absolutely. All bars, big up. Den, did I say there wasn't? I asked if there's any truth in this. Or big up, Den. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, yeah, guys, look, he's absolutely right. Look, there is, what I believe, Den, is that there's no smoke without fire, my guy. There's no smoke without fire. There is obviously these rumors out there for a reason. And obviously, Man United are interested in a bunch of players that they've been interested for a long time. These players have been interested in a long time. For example, Jared Branthwaite, for example, Man United is still interested in, even though we were interested in before we signed Lenny Yoro. We were interested in Jared Branthwaite when we got a delete. But there is truth. Of course, there is truth. There is truth about Anderson. There's truth about Baleba. The entourage of Manchester United have already met up with Baleba's entourage. They've already met up with his agents and stuff, and there was already an agreement there in principle in regards to the player and in regards to his agents and the football and our football club, of course, guys, absolutely. But that's not to say we're going to sign him. Man United are playing that by ear. Man United are analysing Carlos Baleba until December. If it works out for him, he picks up his performances, there is a possibility that Man United could sign Baleba in December. If he doesn't pick up his performances, that could be delayed until the summer, because Man United are not going to splash that 65 million on a player they don't trust. And that's one thing about that, what happens. This is why Man United have Baleba, and they'll have Anderson, and they'll have Wharton, and they have all these players who are on, who could be, the next one into the football club, actually. But one thing I will say then is that anyone who comes through the football club, any one of those players, any two of those players, be absolutely fantastic. It will be absolutely brilliant, in my opinion. Absolutely. Big up, Den. What's going on? I hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're good. Absolutely. Vitinha and João Neves, brilliant. Yep. Get the deal done. Big up, Stephen. Hope you're doing well. Look, this is the key, isn't it? It's all about getting the deal done. It's always about getting the deal over the line. This is what it's all at the end of the day. Sal, how good was Paul Gascoigne? Generational, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Made a big mistake not going to Man United, of course. Almost signed for Man United. Then he got a phone call for Terry Venables to go to Tottenham, which was a big mistake for Gascoigne, because I believe that Paul Gascoigne, under the leadership of Sir Alex Ferguson at the time, would have been an absolute game changer for Man United and himself as well. He wouldn't have become an alcoholic and things like that, like he did at Tottenham and Rangers and places like that, which, all due respect to those football clubs, they're not Manchester United. Man United are far bigger club than both of them put together. And to be honest with you, if he was working under Sir Alex Ferguson, you would have seen a different Paul Gascoigne. Even though we saw glimpses of a very good Gascoigne when he went to Lazio and stuff, he was still a very good player, but he wouldn't have, he would have become a far more potent, far more better player if he went to Manchester United, in my opinion. Jale, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Club saying Xerxes is not going anywhere. They're also saying that Mainu is not going anywhere. Let's see what bids do come in. Look, at the end of the day, Jale, the football club, let me just say something about the football club. The football club are not going to come out and say these players are available when the window's not even open. The proof is in the pudding. At the end of the day, you could say a lot. He's not available. He's not for sale. Obviously, they're going to say that because they need those players at the moment, especially 21st to the 1st of January. Let's think about this, right? The 21st of December to the 1st of January, there's the AFCON going on. Why would Man United say we're going to sell Mainu and we're going to sell Xerxes when we need them during that period, because the window is not open at that time? So why would Man United come out and say they're not available at any price? It doesn't make sense. Look, it could well be true. They're not available. They're not for sale. But we have to look at things objectively and think that why would Man United say they're for sale when we need them for the next couple of weeks during the 21st of December and the 1st of January? You know what I mean? So you have to be smart in football. In football, you have to be smart. You can't just throw your players under the bus, so to speak, and say you're for sale, because obviously what's going to happen naturally, human nature, isn't it? You're not going to give 100% because you believe that your future is not at the football club, of course. Good afternoon, Tyborg. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good afternoon, Sal. Watching Hungary Ireland right now. Hungary is not to be underestimated anymore, leading 2-1 again. Look, you know what? One thing I'll say, I'm very surprised about Hungary. And also, Tybo, I'm surprised about Hungary, how quickly they developed, because only a few years ago, they were getting slapped up by all these teams. But recently, they've been really putting in the effort. They've been really getting these results in. Of course, they beat England 4-0, but that was under Gareth Southgate not too long ago. So they are a very good team. And anyone who plays them is going to get a difficult game, guys. It's like the old days, isn't it? The old Hungary of the old days, isn't it, Tyborg? So big up, Tyborg. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. So what position does Boyodi play? Midfield, my friend. CDM. Absolutely. Charlie, Gallagher and Anderson January would be something. It would be amazing, Charlie, but I don't think that they're going to sign 2 number 6s like that. That's 2 number 6s. I don't think Man United will sign 2 number 6s. What Man United are going to do, they're going to buy 1 number 6 and maybe, if we're lucky, we'll get a number 8. But I think we're going to use Bruno to the end of the season. I don't think Man United will get a number 8 and a number 6. I think Man United will get one or the other. Anderson is a number 6, of course, and so is Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher is actually the epitome. He is a proper number 6, you know. So I think Man United will either sign someone like Anderson as Stiller, Anderson and Baleba, who can play that number 8 role as well, of course. So that is, and obviously João Gomez as well, Ruben Neves, someone like that. But Man United will sign one or the other. It would be brilliant if Man United signed 2. I'm not going to lie here. It would be brilliant, Charlie, if Man United got a couple. I just don't think it's going to happen. Absolutely not. Sal, I hope there is no injuries. This is crucial time for us. I hope so. Absolutely. Guys, absolutely. Kenny, and also personally, Mainu should go on loan and Xerxes should probably permanently leave. So let's see that. Let's see how it turns out at the end of the day. We don't know what's going to be happening in the future, of course. One thing I'm very disappointed about is Mainu. Of course, I am. I'm a big fan of Mainu. People know that I'm a big fan of Mainu. I think he's a brilliant player. I think that he's going to be, he can still offer something for Manchester United, but we can't stifle the player. We can't just hide the player and keep him, because at the end of the day, we have to think about his future as well, isn't it, guys? Absolutely. Bruno Brace, big up. He's Armenia rubbish though, isn't he? Rajesh, India and Glazers out. India and Glazers out. Big up, my friend. Saudis should take over Manchester United. Big up, Rajesh. That would be absolutely brilliant if we did manage to get a full sale. Glazers out. That'd be great, wouldn't it, at the end of the day? Just Bruno's stat pattern again. Absolutely. Hey, what's going on, my friend? What's going on, Bobby? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. I hope you're well. Very good to see you, my friend. I'm very well. Good to see you. Look, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. I'm just waiting for this international break to be over. I'm sure you are as well. I'm sure many of us are just waiting for this international break to be over so we can move on. We can move on and we can get on with proper football, isn't it, at the end of the day? Armenia are crap, man. Bloody hell. That anyone can beat Armenia. If you don't beat Armenia, you've got a serious problem if you don't beat Armenia. Big up, Sal. For me, as long as they act on the midfield issue in January, because that talk is too much on the next summer. I know it is too much. I know it's worrying, but we have to look at things objectively in regards to what Ineos are. They are broken promises, walking broken promises, because they've broken a few promises already. If they truly believe in Ruben Amorim and they truly want Man United to be successful on the pitch, they have to make deals happen in January. I think that because you know as well as I do, LT, that Liverpool, that Arsenal, that Man City, that Chelsea are going to be doing deals in January, innit? And we're going to be falling further behind. So I really do think that they need to walk the walk, stop talking the talk. That's what they need to, absolutely. He's playing as a right attacking midfielder. There you go. I don't know. He's got the pace. Guys, sorry, I meant Ineos. Phone toto type. Big up, Rajesh. No problem, my friend. Big up. Big up to you, bro. Big up, Rajesh. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Yale, Bruno got the skip back when he takes a pen. Yeah, look, I don't trust him on pens anymore. Missed the pen like against Fulham. Annoyed me. Let the referee get into his head. Bad. That was really, really bad. We'd be way up that league by now. Absolutely. Wazza and Gaza together. 2 different generations, my guy, RJ. Very, very different generations. Gaza was coming to the end of his career in 2003, I believe, when Rooney was around. Gaza was, I'm not sure he was playing for Darlington or something like that. I can't remember. I know he played for Middlesbrough in his latter career. But yeah, he wasn't. Absolutely. Charlie, Gallagher can play as an 8 and a 10 as well. He is really talented, and I do not underestimate these saying that he can get him. But having someone like Gallagher to come, he's not a number 8 though. Naturally, he's a number 6. And Man United do need to bring in specialist positions. He's more of a number 6 than a number 8. He's not really the guy who's going to push forward. He is a number 6, mate. He's not a number 8. Most players can play the number 8 role. So to speak, even Baleba, even though he's a number 6. But Gallagher is a proper number 6. He's the one who's just going to be sitting back. And I don't think he can play the 8 role, if I'm being honest with you. Never seen him do it. And I'm English. Daryl, big up, Daryl. What's going on, my friends? Afternoon, Sal. I'm happy if we get 6 or 8. I'm definitely need it in January on Bruno and playing. The biggest worry for me, Daryl, obviously, is that I don't want us to forget about the midfield position. The right wing attacking midfielder and the right wing as well is definitely a problem, because obviously we're going to have Mbeumo, we're going to have Ahmad missing. So I don't want us to neglect that position as well. If we can do some kind of loan to bring in an attacking player, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Unless Shea Lacey is available and he's ready. Because we're gonna be stuck on that. Obviously, what we can do is we can play Bruno as number 10. move Dalot onto the right and move Manu into that midfield. But that is very precarious. That's very risky considering that our squad is very tight, you know. Hello, Sam. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good afternoon, Sal. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing good. United should sign Anderson and forget about Wharton. Wharton, to be honest with you, Sam, he's wanted by a number of clubs. I think he's one of the best CDMs in Europe, I think, if not the world. He's already given a gentleman's agreement to Crystal Palace that he's going to be leaving in the summer, not in January. So that's a no-no in January anyway. But in regards to Wharton and his future, I believe Real Madrid are heavily interested in Adam Wharton. So that's going to be a difficult deal to achieve. Wharton, for me, is England's best CDM. I think he's even better than Declan Rice. But what I would say is this: England have an array of talented midfielders at the moment. But Anderson is a lot. The one thing I like about Anderson, I just feel like there's a lot of strings to his bow. He can do a lot. He's good at keeping the ball, bring the ball forward, tackling, retrieving. He's a destroyer. He can create. I just think he's such an all-round player, and I think he'd be absolutely fantastic at Man United, I think, if we manage to sign him. Absolutely, Sam. Big up. Sal, do you rate Bellingham? Yes, I do. I do rate Bellingham. I do, absolutely. Guys, absolutely. Rance and Lee Gunner don't rate Bellingham by the looks of it. They don't rate Bellingham because they made their choice up about Bellingham many years ago. But just look at his stats. His stats don't lie. He's been a brilliant player for Real Madrid, and he's been a brilliant player. Guys, if you don't rate Bellingham, who do you rate? They rate Pogba, for goodness sake. Pogba can't even do anything for Monaco at the moment, so they just need to be piped down a little bit, because I do think that those guys there got a little bit of woohoo going on upstairs. I do believe that they got like a very hateful nature about themselves, and they have an opinion and they don't sway from that opinion. And even though evidence suggests that they should, they won't sway away from that opinion. That's the way they are. It's ego, it's arrogance, and that's what happens when you don't work to get the platform that they got, because they were given that platform for Mark Goldbridge, and the whole world knows it at the end of the day. So until they get a platform that they built themselves, you know, I'm talking about all of them. Do you know what I mean? Then I'll show them the respect that they deserve in regards to their opinions. But at the end of the day, I have a very low opinion of their opinion, to be honest with you. Absolutely. LT, good to hear that Licha will be available after the absolutely break, and because we could really miss him. Absolutely, it's underrated how much we miss him. Of course, their centre back, because Shaw switches off too many times, and Licha us stepping into the midfield when needed. Leach is the best at it, isn't it, LT? We've missed this, the little extra midfielder that we need in there. He's so important to the system. He really is. He's so important to the way we play. Absolutely. Get that ball, bring that ball forward, act as a support in that midfield. And whilst we've got Bruno in the midfield, having Leacher there helps Bruno as well. Do you know what I mean? It helps Bruno as well. Even though Bruno shouldn't be a number 8, it does help Bruno as well. Do you know what I mean? And having Leacher back would be absolutely brilliant, of course. Daryl, my guy, I got a feeling it's going to be hard times when AFCON starts, bro. We might have to turn the youth. You know what? I agree with Daryl here. Look, you know what? This is what I said this morning. I did say this morning that we can't get overly excited. We can't get overly giddy and zealous in regards to this transfer rumors and stuff, because I want to see the proof in the pudding, to be honest with you. Absolutely. Because, you know, we can talk all we like till the cows come home. If they don't do the business in January, it doesn't really matter, does it? At the end of the day, I would, if I was Ruben Amram right now, the next few games in the next coming weeks, I would slowly start integrating the likes of Shea Lacey into the team, JJ Gabriel into the team. You know, even though they're young, I would start doing it, to be honest with you. I really would, guys. Musa into the team, Ibrahimov into the team, Tyler Fletcher into the team. I would start doing it, and Scanlon as well. I would start slowly drifting them into the team and slowly bedding them into the team so they get nurtured. And even if it's 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, etc., what Sir Alex Ferguson used to do, that's what I would do. Absolutely, my man. Absolutely. Kenny, poor ball knowledge. The same Lee Gunner who said that Ronaldo's not in the top 50. That's just a hateful, sinister opinion. And then when you say things like that, isn't it, Kenny? When you say things like that, that just takes away the legitimacy of them. You know, I've seen Lee Gunner. Kenny, you don't know this, but Lee Gunner's been jumping on Mo's channel, been saying bad things about Mo, bad things about all of us and stuff like that. I think that what the problem is with people like Lee is that Lee thinks that he's this ultimate warrior guy, that he can take on anyone in the world, hiding in Spain, can take on anyone in the world. No, at the end of the day, let him think that. Delusion. I mean, mental health is a big thing in the world right now, and I think like he has got a little bit of things going on upstairs. I don't know what's going on in his life, but he does seem a very unhappy and bitter person. And when I look at it, I think that who does he like at the end of the day? Is there anyone he likes? I don't know. Well, he certainly doesn't like me, and he doesn't like other people who have opinions and stuff like that. At the end of the day, look, when we're looking at Arsenal, he has his opinion about Arteta. That's fair enough. I agree with some of the opinions about he's not won anything. That's fair enough. But to totally dismiss what Arteta's done at Arsenal is crazy, because Arsenal were a banter team, a few years ago, and he has turned them into competitors at least. Yes, he does have to win things. I understand that. He does have to win things. It's very important that he wins things. But what I would say is that it's an overreaction, and he just needs to be calm a little bit, because you're not going to take on the whole world, my guy. Absolutely. We're all from the same street. We're all from the same ends. I'm from a council estate in East London, my friend. So at the end of the day, we're all from the same ends, mate. We know Wagwan, we know what happens, So what Lee needs to do, he just needs to be calm, speak calm. We're all human beings. We have opinions of football at the end of the day, and that's what he needs to remember. Of course, RJ, poor Gabriel limped off a Brazil game yesterday. I need him. I mean, obviously, back for the Spurs to sell. I think Arsenal went to win. Arsenal got a couple of injuries going on. Calafiori as well, I think, is injured as well. So their squad. I mean, everyone keeps talking about Arsenal squad. Well, here we go. Arsenal squad are going to be put to the test. This is their squad. So I don't want to hear any moaning. We've had more players out than them, and we don't have as a big squad as Arsenal. We've had a few players out, and we ain't got a big squad like Arsenal have at the end of the day. So look, at the end of the day, the people been ranting and raving about their squad. Let's see what their squad can do now when they've got a few injuries. A bit of adversity strikes, of course. Absolutely. Lee Gunner, absolutely. He's a laughing stock, absolutely. Lee Cotton, as we call him. Absolutely. Best ever player. How can you call the player CR7, the amount of goals he scored, what he has won, last player to win a Ballon d'Or in England, won the Ballon d'Or in Man United? How can you call them? Like, it's absolutely criminal to call that. Then who do you rate? He's 10 times better than his best player, Dennis Bergkamp. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, so I don't want to be hearing anything of that. You know what I mean? Just a bitter, sinister opinion. And when you say that, look, I wouldn't go out and say that Messi's not in the top 50, because I know that's a lie, and that's lying to your community. If you say that Ronaldo's not even in the top 50, that's a lie. That's a lie. And that shows you that you're not a serious football. You don't have a serious football opinion, to be honest with you. Absolutely. Sal, is there any truth about Chelsea want Adam Wharton in January? Probably, Ephraim, probably. Manchester United not the only ones who are interested in Adam Wharton. Adam Wharton does kind of suit the Chelsea way, but I don't think Chelsea are going to sign him. Reason is because they got Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo. They've got two of the best CDMs in the world, in my opinion, at the moment. So I don't think Chelsea are going to sign Adam Wharton. It's not in the realms of impossibility. I'm not saying it is, but I don't think they're going to go after Adam Wharton as a priority. I think Chelsea's main priority is the attacking side of things, the defense and the strikers at the moment. Absolutely, I believe, in my opinion. Of course, guys. Daryl. Leacher, Yora, Heaven should be on our face. I agree with Daryl here. I think Leacher and Heaven should be integrated into our team now. It's about time we did that. Lenny Yoro, I think it should be Lenny Yoro, Delict, and Leacher in our team, and rotating with Aiden Heaven, of course, because Aiden Heaven is a left footer, of course, and can play in that left-sided centre-back position, of course, guys. So, yeah, I believe that. I think we need to look forward. I think we need to move on from Dalot. I think we need to move on from Maguire and, obviously, Shaw as well. I think Man United need to move on from that and start bringing through these youngsters who I believe will do just as good, if not better, than what we have at the moment. RJ, big up, Daryl. RJ, Sal, I forgot about the super brick. Whoa, Argentina Butcher. Absolutely. Big ups, RJ. Lee Gunner is a crap man. I mean, Lee Gunner, look, at the end of the day, look, I look at people because I worked in a hospital for 5 years. So I do see characteristics for people who, are a bit, hey. You know what I mean? They're a little bit crazy. But, coming on people's streams, he's got 100,000 subscribers. He's doing well for himself. Congratulations, mate. You're doing well for yourself. Keep going, brother. Keep smashing it. At the end of the day, you're entitled to your opinion, but don't go on other people's channels and stop. You're talking about real ones here, right? If you want to debate about football, I'm open to a debate about football. I know everything about football in regards to his time as well, because I was raised on that time, do you know what I mean? Even before him. So at the end of the day, look, if you want an opinion about football, this platform is always open for you to come in and have a debate about football and to come and have a debate about the birds and bees, because I will teach him about the birds and the bees and stuff. So there you go. Absolutely. Spurs trigger me so much now, Sal. I mean, I think Spurs, I used to feel sorry for Spurs back in the day. They do annoy me because they do raise their game against Man United. They do have this little bit of a chink in their armor when it comes to Manchester United. They do feel a little bit giddy when it comes to Man United. It is very, very frustrating and annoying, but we need to overcome them next time, definitely. When we play them at Old Trafford, we got to go there. We got to beat them at Old Trafford. I'm not having any excuses. When they come to Old Trafford, it's 5 games we haven't beaten them now. 6, I think, in all. We got to go there. We got to beat them, absolutely. Kenny, it's all fine, Sal. I like the League Gunner fuming com videos. We are smoking the Stay Humble pack. I mean, I don't know. I think he's a bit of an idiot, mate. I think he's an idiot. He goes on Mo's channel. He goes on people's channels and just talks that old loads of smack. You know, he's got to realize that sometimes you're going to come across a real one. And you've got to be very, very careful when you come across a real one, you know, at the end of the day, because we don't just sit here. I don't just sit in the UAE and have no contacts in England, because I do have contacts in England and Mallorca. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So, look, to be honest with you, just needs to pipe down, do his football, have his opinion. That's fine. If he doesn't believe Cristiano Ronaldo is in the top 50 of all time, that's him. I think it's ridiculous, dumb. My grandma has a bit of ball knowledge, but then again, and she doesn't even watch football. So at the end of the day, look, you know, it's just what it is. Sal, do you think Garnacho is overrated? Yes, I do. Absolutely. Sal, Rance and Lee Gunner say they think they know more than anybody. Poor guys. They know more than anybody. All right, then come on this channel and let's talk about Man United. Let's talk about how much they know about Manchester United. Let's talk about how much they know about football in general. They don't. They don't. Weren't they bigging up Paul Pogba? How's Paul Pogba doing at Monaco, by the way? How is he? Is he doing all right? Is he all right at Monaco? Is he doing okay at Monaco? How is he doing over there? You know, all this hype about all this revisionism about these players at our football club who flopped out of football club. Marcus Rashford, he's doing okay at Barcelona, not setting the world alight, of course, guys, absolutely. But these guys don't support Man United, so I don't really care, to be honest with you. Big up, Ephraim. LT, AFCON is the time that Xerxes and Mainu show their worth to the team, because there's too much talk of them and their transfer requests because they are a thin squad. This is their time. This is their time, LT, but they have to show up. And we can't take any risks. They have to show up. They have to show us what they're all about. This is their time. This is their time to grab the opportunity. There's no excuses, in my opinion. If they get in a team, and let's remember, from the 21st of December to the 1st of January, there is no chance of signing any players. There's going to be some games there, in particular important games. So there's no chance of signing any players between that time. So it's their opportunity, because that's when the AFCON is happening. It's their opportunity to make something happen, to show us that, you know what, maybe they should be playing, and to prove to the manager as well. Show Ruben Amram why you should be playing. You know, we don't just go on the pitch and sulk and have a huff and puff. Go out and show them how good you are, because at the end of the day, I haven't seen anything from them when they come on the pitch so far. You know, and as I said earlier, to make something happen, maybe a crunching tackle, a clearance off the line, an assist, a goal, you know, something, you know, a passage of play that you go, wow, goodness me, what a bit of play that was. Something, but I'm not seeing anything from them. I'm only seeing mistakes at the moment. Do you know what I mean? I don't like Garnacho's face. Yeah, well, you know, he's all right. Don't worry about it. Jamie, big up, Rajesh. Jamie Gallagher is a bummer, Sal. He has no respect for Alex Ferguson. He can't compare him to Pep. At the end of the day, Rajesh, what we have to understand, I absolutely understand this. Lot we've spoken about Alex Ferguson numerous amounts of times, Alex Ferguson's history, etc. I mean, I would love to see Pep Guardiola go to Aberdeen and win a European trophy. You know what I mean? I'd love to see Pep Guardiola with a no budget at all go to Aberdeen and win the league ahead of Glasgow Rangers and Celtic, and it hasn't happened since then. I would like to see Pep Guardiola rebuild Manchester United, make money organically, not given money, and build a winning team and win the league with kids and win a treble with kids, so to speak. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just bitterness. He's speaking in a place of anger and bitterness and sinister, because at the end of the day, he knows that Alex Ferguson's cost him a lot of pain over the years, hasn't he? Afternoon, Jengas. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my guy. Hope everything is blessed with you. Hope you're doing good. Angelotti using the Ragnick playbook 4-2-2-2-2-2. Absolutely. There you go. Oh, well. So it's good for some. Bruno hat-trick. Congratulations to Bruno on the hat-trick. Well, smash Spurs. We need to. When they come to Old Trafford, we need to smash them, guys. Absolutely, we do. Absolutely. Dave, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good, my guy. My friend currently working at Brighton told me that Balaba's head has been United since the summer links. Yep. What Brighton has done is put the issue under the radar to maintain his value. Yes. Brighton, actually, Dave, Brighton are desperate to sign. I said it many weeks ago. They're desperate to sell Balaba. However, Man United are very shrewd. They're very smart. They know what's going on at the moment. They know that Balaba isn't really playing well. So Man United are going to play it by ear. Man United are going to wait until December. They're going to see how he's performing. If he's not performing, they're going to wait until the summer. That's what happened. But Brighton are really, really desperate to sell him. Really desperate to sell him. And they want to sell him in January because it's quite obvious that he wants to leave. His head has been turned. One thing I would say about it, though, in the summer, if Balaba really wanted to leave, Balaba should have spoke up. Balaba should have said, I want to move to Manchester United. Lower my price. I want to move to Manchester United. That is what should have happened. It's his own fault at the end of the day. But as I said yesterday, as I said today, and I said this morning, we have to be incredibly careful about Baleba, because let's say down the line we sign Baleba, he does very well for Man United. Real Madrid come calling. Is his head going to be turned because Real Madrid? You know what I mean? Is his head going to be turned? We have to be wary of that. We have to think of things in a mature way. I know there's a lot of people who are Balebas and they're Baleba FC and stuff like that, and they really want Baleba. Let's just sign him because he fits. In what world does he fit at the moment? In what world does he fit? Because he's unprofessional, that he doesn't want to play for Brighton because he wants to go to Man United. I'll say exactly the same. I would say exactly the same about Munoz or Crystal Palace. Munoz or Crystal Palace saying, oh, my dream is to play for Man United. You're playing for bloody Crystal Palace in the Premier League, mate. Be quiet. You know what I mean? Because even though I like that he wants to play for Man United, does go to show you a little bit about his personality. Is he going to do that to Man United one day, that he wants to play for another club? He wants to play for Real Madrid or something. So we have to look at things, you know what I mean, from that, you know what I mean. 7-1, Armenia, so rubbish. This one's all about international football, guys. Rubbish. Yale, Pogba has played 52 minutes over this season in two games. Yeah, whose fault is that? Absolutely. I don't rate Argentina, so I'm sorry, Sal. I don't think they're going to win the World Cup this time. Absolutely. Sal, you should do a stream with Rance. There'll be good debates. There won't be no debate. It'll be an absolute annihilation. That's what it'll be. I've spoken to Rance. I've met Rance. I met him at football trials. To be honest with you, he will never come on this channel because he knows that I have actually got a knowledge about football. I'm not like one of those burger munchers over there that just talk rubbish. At the end of the day, look, what I am is what I am. And if he wants to come in the channel, the channel is open if you want to come out and talk about Manchester United. You can bring out all the stats. You can bring out all the iPads. You can get what you want. You can bring it all. You bring your tank top as well and your new era cap. I don't mind. Just bring it. I don't care, mate. I'll sit here and just sit him down. And that's what I do. I've never, at the end of the day, these people have, it's embarrassing. It actually is embarrassing. It will be cruelty. It will be. There people be calling, people be reporting me for cruelty on this stream if I actually brought him on this channel. It'll actually be an annihilation of knowledge about Manchester United and football in general. And actually, whether you want to talk about Hearts of Oak in Ghana, you want to talk about Tokyo FC in Japan, do you want to talk about Zenit St. Petersburg? You want to talk about them? Should we talk about them? Should we do that, guys? Because, it doesn't really matter. I've got knowledge about most things at the end of the day in regards to football. So that, and that is being humble. Believe it or not. Charlie, no, Gorga has not played a game. This is the Juventus stats. Whose fault is that? Again, absolutely. Scotland versus Denmark this week. Bloody hell, what a game, Sal. That's going to be a good game, yeah. That's going to be a big game for Scotland. They could... Lee is all right. He just had too much of the grog when he was on the troop stream. Yeah, but you got to be careful with the grog, my friend. You got to be careful, Dave, with the old grog. You got to be careful because at the end of the day, you might say something that upsets someone. And at the end of the day, when you come in on the stream talking about Mo and then going on another stream and talking about Mo again, who's a friend of mine, I don't agree with it. I think it's absolutely childish. The 40-year-old man needs to grow up. At the end of the day, we're not internet gangsters here. At the end of the day, we're grown-up men. And if you want to come on these streams and talk the absolute smack, I'm not going to be forgiving just because you had a few drinks. We all been there, my friend. We all been there. You know what I mean? But I don't make myself look like an absolute prat. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't come in and act a big and I'm the one who kickboxed for blipping 9.5 years. I went to Hong Kong to bloody do my... And look, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, these people just need to calm down and pipe down a little bit. That's what they need to do. Do you know what I mean? Jale, Baleba should have put in a transfer, because I agree with Jale there. If he really, really wanted to move to Manchester United, he should have put in a transfer request. Absolutely. Guys, absolutely. So, was Isaac right for what he did to Newcastle? No, I don't think so. I think there's ways to do it. I do believe that. I think there's classier ways to do it than what he did. I would say that if he wanted to move to Liverpool, he could have done it behind the scenes. He could have spoke to Eddie Howe. He could have spoke to the ball. Why did he have to go out and go and strike? I don't agree with those things. But unfortunately, we live in a world where, players these days, they're too rich too soon. They got spoiled. They think the world owes them everything. And that's what happens in football these days. Unfortunately, we're at that period. It's the Garnacho effect, isn't it? It's that kind of thing, just a bunch of crybabies these days. Absolutely. Rance knowledge is like iPad manager. Rance knowledge, mate. If I was to analyze Rance knowledge about football, it'd be sensible soccer from 1990, or 1989, whether it was. It'd basically be 2D knowledge. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you're going to analyze my knowledge compared to his, my knowledge would be 5K. His knowledge would be bloody 2D. That would be his knowledge, to be honest with you. It's just very basic. very hateful, very bitter. But at the end of the day, people are entitled to their opinions. You know, opinions are like arseholes. Everyone has one. Do you know what I mean? But a lot of them stink. And that's what I would say about it at the end of the day. So that's what I would say about it. And yeah, end of. Ephraim, spot on, Sal. We do not need these kind of a thing from Baleba. He has to be professional. Absolutely, man. I agree with Ephraim. Absolutely, man. Guys, absolutely. The Scotland versus Denmark game is like a cup game. The winner wins the group. Yeah, I'll go. I want Denmark to win. Absolutely. I want Denmark. There it is, 8-1. Bloody hell. There you go. Who cares? I mean, bloody rubbish team. If we beat Everton, we'll have won 5 games in a row at home, and our only loss at home is to Arsenal, which shouldn't have been a loss, LT. By the way, it was a foul on Bayindir, as we all know. If we continue like this and improve the away form, then we can have a good season. I agree, man. Ireland are level. How Ireland have to win, don't they? Ireland have to win, don't they? They have to win. They're falling behind, isn't it? They need to win that game, I think. Good luck to Ireland. Rajesh, may your channel grow from strength to strength, Sal. May God bless you. Thank you so much. You're an absolute gentleman. Thank you so much, my friend Rajesh. Really appreciate you, my guy. Really appreciate you every single day. Absolutely. Armenia, aka Southampton. Southampton would kick Armenia 5 or 6-0, mate. Let's not get twisted. At the end of the day, Armenia would lose to most teams in bloody all 3 divisions in England. To be honest, if you were being honest, guys, absolutely. So it's the scores are the live scores are. Let me just find out the live scores. I haven't got the live scores on me. So live World Cup scores. Let's go to this. Just bloody put up the scores, for goodness sake. They're not even putting up the scores, for goodness sake. Yeah, I hope Ireland qualify, though. It's always good to have Ireland at the World Cup, to be honest. If I'm being honest, it's always good to have Ireland at the World Cup. We'd like to have Ireland at the World Cup. It's been a while. I think the last time Ireland qualified for the World Cup, when was it? 2002, was it? Guys, Sal, I'm happy. I'm happy with we didn't rush Cunha injury. Yeah, he's going to be good, mate. Sal, with Baleba's current form, will he really improve when he joins us, since the form isn't just light switch that can be instantly turned on, the recruitment team? What my worry is, Dave, I don't think it's form. I think it's mentality. And when it's mentality and it's professionalism, that's when you have a problem. I think it's that. I think it's professionalism. I think it's mentality. He doesn't have it. He's weak. His head has been turned and he wants to go to Man United and he's throwing his rattles out of his pram. It's basically what it is at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? It's basically what it is. Joshy Giants would be absolutely, Jangos, absolutely. Pep to me was running scared and rushed to Rodri last season. Look, you know what? This is exactly what it is, isn't it? At the end of the day, Rodri. Look at one injury. Look how it all collapsed for Pep Guardiola. One injury, it all collapsed. It collapsed. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? One injury. We've had multiple injuries. You know what I mean? And look how much he struggled, guys. Absolutely. I like to bring in the fact that the team at Barcelona, the team that had Messi and had Xavi and Iniesta, it was built by Frank Rijkaard. It's built by Frank Rijkaard, guys. You know, at the end of the day. Rodri won't be the same player anymore, no. But they've already spent 60 million on Nico Gonzalez, of course. And Nico Gonzalez is obviously doing very well for Man City at the moment, actually playing one of the best midfielders this season so far. Nico Gonzalez has been brilliant for Manchester City this season so far, you know. And another one of the old Chatterboxer, of course, guys, absolutely. Another player that they purchased. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So they always got cover. They always got backup in their team, of course, guys. That is what they are. You know, Pep is a checkbook manager. That's what he is. I mean, I like to see him with no money. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, I like to see him make money organically and stuff. RJ, Liverpool were so crap against City. Newcastle better give City a game, Sal. I think City are going to win it. I mean, if someone told me right now, who's going to win the league? Who's going to win the league? And someone put in front of me Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City. At the moment, look, I would say Man United. Yeah, I would say Man United. No, look, in all honesty, I would say that Man City, if they get closer to Arsenal, could put Arsenal under a lot of pressure. And it does depend on games like Man City against Newcastle are very important. Of course, they're massive games, isn't it? Massive games like Arsenal, like Man City against Newcastle. Newcastle are very good at home, as we know. Very good. And it's going to be a difficult game. I'm looking forward to that game, to be honest. I might actually do a watch-along for that game. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, look, you know, I think that's a massive game. And it is going to give me a picture of what's going to happen. Absolutely. I don't like that Turkey. Yeah, he's arrogant. Yeah, he's arrogant. He's an arrogant sod, isn't it? But we knocked him out of the Europa League, so he can have that. He can have that. He can have that. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he can have that. We knocked him out. Lawrence, what do you think qualify for Europa and finally win that trophy next season to qualify for the Champions League as an improved team the season after? I think Man United are going to qualify for the Champions League this season, Dave. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can clip me, whatever you want to do. I think Man United are gonna qualify for the Champions League this season. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say about it. I'm tired of that Europa League. I mean, we've lost 2 finals, isn't it? 2 finals in Europa League, unacceptable. Losing to Tottenham, losing to Villarreal was unacceptable as well. You know, at the end of the day, Villarreal in particular were there for the taking. I think Man United should have beaten them. I really do. But unfortunately, it is what it is, you know. We'd love Man United to qualify for and challenge, not only qualify, but challenge for the Champions League. We'll give Ineos no excuses in the summer, isn't it, guys? Absolutely. João Felix is a greedy player, Sal. Most players are these days, guys. Most players are a little bit greedy. That's what they do. That's why they're goal scorers, isn't it? They're a little bit greedy. This is what these players do. They are greedy. But you know what? I'm not really interested. I'm not really interested in these games. Armenia, Serbia, all these teams are so poor. You know, it's just a waste of time. Like I said yesterday, a waste of time, a waste of electricity. That's what it is for me. It really is. It's really a waste of time. Villarreal was worse. It was worse, Kenny, because at the end of the day, Villarreal were a poor team and Man United should have defeated them. In regards to Tottenham, you can argue that Tottenham are a Premier League team. They know Man United. It's more difficult. It's all Premier League tie. That's always going to be difficult. But the Villarreal game, it really sticks in my head. I really thought Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got it wrong in that game. We should have really smashed them up. We really should have. Of course. Ephraim, Sal, who do you like, City or Arsenal? None of them, mate. None of them. I prefer Arsenal. Not because of the Arsenal fans, because I think that Arsenal were built organically. Arsenal were built like a proper football team. Arsenal are a big football club, a massive football club. And I feel like that they basically were built organically with the money that they earned from success. And I admire them for that. In regards to Man City, they were given money, they were given an endless pot, and I don't respect them for what they've been doing in the Premier League. I really don't. I think they've ruined it, so to speak. But what I would say, that I think they're boring as well. Sorry, but what I would say is this, guys. I think that, you know, Man City just, you know, because what you have to remember, guys, is no matter who Abu Dhabi took charge of, no matter if it was any team in England, they would have been successful. That's the thing, you know. Man City they're standing on the shoulders of teams like Man United and Arsenal. They're standing on the shoulders of Man United and Arsenal. That's what they're doing. You know what I mean? I give credit where credit is due, as I do. LT, Stiller and Anderson would be a dream pair signing centre midfielder so that we can control games better, because it's clear we are good at getting the goals early but fail to control it. I agree with that. This is something that I've been speaking about in a while for a while now, LT. It's about Man United have periods in games where we go missing for the 20, 30 minutes and we let teams back into the game. We start getting dominated. Now, this is why I say that in the game against Tottenham, it was nothing to do with the substitutions. We were getting dominated before the substitutions. Right, so what happened? We were being kept in the game because of Senny Lamens. So what Man United need is they need to stop playing survival football, relying on magical moments, etc., and they need to show an element of control. When I watch Arsenal, for example, I see control. I don't feel like Arsenal are any danger whatsoever. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're not going to win every game. You're going to draw some. That's football at the end of the day. But what I would say is that I never felt like Arsenal were under any kind of danger when they play. They're more in control on that, but it will come with time, of course, I believe. Absolutely, LT. Big up, LT. Kelly, guys, keeping it tight. Ireland here. I mean, if Ireland draw that's a massive result as well. They're not doing too bad. The players should fight to get us back into Europe. The revenue from it will help us to get most of these players we are linked with. Yeah. I mean, if we get into Europe, in particular Champions League, I would like to see how Man United summer would go. I would have liked to see how Man United summer would have been this summer. Would have been crazy, innit? Would have been a lot better. Sal, is Ireland a nice place? Never been, unfortunately. I mean, I love Irish people. I've got a lot of love for Irish people, salt of the earth people, Irish people. I'll always sing the praises of Irish people. I would always do that because I think that they're honest, real, humanitarian kind of people that, you know what, would love to go one day, hopefully. God willing, I will be going there. Absolutely. You never know. Arsenal fans are equally unbearable as Liverpool fans. Arsenal, arguably, Arsenal fans are probably worse than Liverpool fans, in my opinion, because I've actually sat down with Liverpool fans at Manchester Piccadilly after a game and had good conversations with Liverpool fans. Good, productive conversations. With Arsenal, I haven't really had good conversations with Arsenal fans. The only way you have this is how you have a good conversation with an Arsenal fan. Let me give you some advice. Anyone who meets an Arsenal fan, this is how you have a good conversation with an Arsenal fan, right? A good conversation with an Arsenal is praising Arsenal. Arsenal are good. Arsenal are brilliant. Arsenal are this, Arsenal that. That is how you have a conversation with an Arsenal fan, because only then will you get anywhere with a conversation. Absolutely. Lawrence, I don't mind watching Chelsea. They have a powerful midfield and wide players who drive defenses. I think Man United are the most entertaining team this season, I believe. Liverpool fans are the worst. They've won 2 titles in 34 years and still giving it the big licks. I mean, Arsenal have won no trophies and no championships in the last 20 years now. You know? And it's 9-1. What is the point? What is the point? What's the point? There's no point of these games. I said it's a waste of electricity. There is no point of these games, guys. Why are we watching it? Guys, it'll waste my time. I want to see football that's competitive. You know what? We're actually risking injury for this. It's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Goodness me. No, I mean, honestly, it is embarrassing. Guys, it is. It's like, I can get a team together over here, right? I can get a bunch of 15 players together, and we can give Portugal a better game than bloody Armenia. For goodness sake, 9-1. I'm telling you right now, I can go and get Nuneaton Borough in England, right? Nuneaton Borough to go and play Portugal. They wouldn't lose 9-1. You know what I mean? This is what we're talking about at the end of the day. This is the levels, guys. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. I should take a leaf out of the Terry playbook, of course. I should take a leaf at the Terry playbook and say "Scary Arsenal." Put that as my thumbnail. I might get more subscribers and views. Yeah, I might get some Arsenal fans coming up to me. Guys, yeah, I might do that actually. Yeah. Oh, scary Arsenal. Hey. Scary Arsenal. Hey. You know what I mean? Halloween surprise. Yeah, definitely. Arsenal have kept a 50-year reputation for being boring, arrogant. I mean, they made a song, didn't they, Lawrence? 1-0 to the Arsenal. You remember when George Graham was in charge? The 1-0 to the Arsenal thing when they beat Parma in the final. You remember that? Goodness me. Hungary are good, though. Hungary are good. Accrington Stanley. Put 5 past them in here. Absolutely. It's ridiculous. Funny fun. Like, yeah. Look, you know what I should do? I should do this. I should do that, innit? I've got to practice. I've got to start doing this. I've got to start doing that. I definitely got to start doing those clickbaits. I really do, guys. I really do. Absolutely. Oh, scary Arsenal. Absolutely scary Arsenal, guys. They are a very, very scary team. Absolutely. I mean, if you're scared of things like Teletubbies and things like that, then I think, yeah, you'd probably be scared of Arsenal. But if you're not scared of Teletubbies, I don't think you're going to be scared of Arsenal, to be honest with you. Yeah, because that's what Arsenal are. They're Teletubbies, isn't it? When the going gets tough, they're soft at the end of the day. And they have a big 0 on their head with trophies. There you go, guys. Absolutely. Guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. I really appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Smash a like on the video. As many as you can, guys. Please, please, please subscribe to the channel. Please don't forget to smash a like as well, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate it, guys. And guys, I will be back tomorrow for Breaking Dawn, of course, as usual, early in the morning, Breaking Dawn. Don't forget to join me for that as well. So let me show you some of these comments. I live in an area where there are loads of Arsenal, Liverpool, and City fans always. Yeah, me too. I'm from East London, Dave, so there were many. I was raised on Arsenal fans. It's probably why I don't support them. Kenny, Arsenal are scary towards their fan base. Arsenal are scary because it's scary the fact that they haven't won any trophies in 6 years yet. They can have that amount of ego. That is scary. The scary thing is if they do win a Tin Pot Cup, how arrogant are they going to be? That is what it is at the end of the day, guys. Guys, thank you very much. See you soon. You absolute legends. Don't forget, Stretford Post is the place to be, guys. Don't forget that. I don't just post tweets and just talk about tweets and things like that, or quote Indy Kayla and people like that. We actually talk real stuff on here. Good ball knowledge. Guys, thank you, as usual. Cannot stress that enough. Have a great day, great evening, great night. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy. Peace.